Welcome to All Kinds. I'm Kaya.
And I'm Yoharis. Welcome back, guys. So today we're going to be talking about all kinds of juicy topics. We're going to be talking about waxing scandals. Yes, there is one going on. We're going to be talking about the wonderful life of Naomi Campbell.
Where has she been all her life?
She's amazing. And we're also going to touch on something a little personal about our international husbands and their European sense of ride or die motto.
Oh, yeah. They know what that means.
It's going to be a lot of fun topics today. So let's just get started with this whole waxing and all the adventures that come with waxing as women.
Well, there's a lot to shave. Remember when we were younger and you started shaving and they said, you don't need to shave the thighs?
Oh, I remember my friend's mother, who I was very close with. She told me, don't shave your thighs. They're going to grow back. You're going to have to shave for the rest of your life. But I was already a massive hairball by like 13.
Well, hair was such a big deal. I remember I was in camp and I was a young teenager. People already feel awkward at that age. We had some international kids and it was the 90s. So you were wearing those like Baywatch high
They're in
cut.
today, yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I don't know, I guess nobody told this one girl. She came out of the water and she had two little afros sticking out of the side. And I remember it was just this huge, embarrassing moment. We were all on the beach and I said to myself, oh no, I have to, I didn't even know, but I was like, now
Where
I
was
know
she
I have
from?
to remove this. I think she was from Russia or something. I don't
wow.
know. But I was like, I can't ever find myself in this situation. I don't think
Horrible.
I had enough hair then. I think I was a late bloomer in that respect. But
Kudos to her for that confidence, though.
I don't think she knew.
Oh.
And everybody was talking about it. I was mortified for her. I don't think anyone said anything, but she was pretty comfortable. She didn't really care.
Well, there was a time, too, where bushes were in. Which
that was not the time. I'm not that old.
Well, I grew up reading Danielle Steele novels, and all the time she would talk about how the man would brush the the mane down there, and and I find that interesting now. No man now wants a bush. No.
So then we started waxing, which oh my god, that's just a nightmare. And I even tried sugaring.
Oh, I mean, it's horrible.
It's a whole thing. And then finally, I remember we read this, I think it was Madonna, and she had a book that came out talking about how she lasered her whole body. And that was something at the time that was only for like celebrities. Like we assumed it was like thousands of dollars. And I remember being a little jealous. Probably. They finally had a sale at this Shishi Poof, like Westmount salon.
Shishi Poof.
But the thing is, it was a sale, meaning it was $600 for 6 sessions for one little body part. And you had to go an hour earlier, and you had to buy this cream they gave you to anesthetize the area. You'd have to wait there for an hour.
Oh my gosh.
And it still hurt, but that we felt like celebrities after. Like, that's how far we've come now. That was 20 years ago, but you know what? It works. It's not 100%. I've done touch-ups last year, but it was like 20 years ago. So
I bought my own waxing kit from
life.
Amazon, and I'm still too scared to even wax my own self.
Well, you got to be careful. You saw the 2nd-degree burn. People think this is a cellulite mark.
People get burns from waxing. You have to do it properly. I mean, I used to go to a woman, but now with this whole lockdown, I did laser, which was great. But
oh no, but the waxing. I mean, I once went to this place in the Village when I was in Montreal as a teenager, and
so the Village is it's called the Village in Montreal. It's called the Gay Village, and
well, I figured this guy will know. My sister referred me, and I figured he's the one doing all kinds of people, all kinds of areas. He's going to be an expert. But with him, it was really funny. You really had to leave your dignity at the door. He's not your typical waxer. He has me on all fours and all kinds of positions. Like, usually they lift a leg. They try to be delicate and like, lift your little ass cheek. He was like, no, spread them all fours. And he had all this like erotica with all these like big dick pictures everywhere. It was like birdcage on porn.
Was it a good job?
He did an excellent job.
Well,
I mean, I declined his anal bleaching services, but he was an excellent waxer. Excellent.
His anal bleaching.
Well, of course. I mean, he was a full service boutique,
I'm a massive, hairball naturally. I mean, I've gotten laser. I need to keep up with laser, but again, with this whole quarantine and, I got married last year, so we're trying to save our coins. But laser
is cheaper now. Like there's all these deals.
I should get a deal. I'm always seeing on
Groupons. It's worth it. I mean, we had a scandal right here locally. I mean, why don't you tell everybody this, Jessica? Did she ever get her waxed? That's what I want to know.
So if you guys have never heard of this woman, this transgender woman, Jessica Yaniv. So she is transgender, as I said. She goes into a salon, an immigrant-owned salon, and saying, hey, do you offer Brazilian waxes? And the woman says, of course, thinking that she's a woman. She goes, just to let you know, I am transgender and I didn't have the surgery. The woman says, I'm sorry, I am not specialized in waxing that type of,
She wanted her balls
I can't do a penis, people, What does this woman do, this transgender woman? She files a human rights court appeal over this immigrant waxing salon. It became huge news. Ricky Gervais talked about it. Everyone talked about it.
Yeah, because she did it to, I think it was a few of these salons.
Few of these places, knowing that they would probably say no, because waxing a vagina versus a penis is totally different. Two different things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the balls, I don't even know. Like, even when I went to that waxer I was just telling you about, I knew there was a risk he might rip off my clit. I don't know how many women he had. I doubt any, judging from the environment.
Right, but it's much easier. It's, because we have the lips. We have, you can...
I think the balls, like they said, it's a specialty. Like, they can't just do it. It's very painful. You need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, and this woman, this transgender woman, Jessica Yaniv, made huge news. But she was also known for suing just whoever told her no.
Oh,
and it was transphobic, and no one's being transphobic, especially in a place like Vancouver, British Columbia. If they are, we're all like, hey, that's not right, all of that. But the fact that she purposely took the time to file court appeals is what made her famous.
And then the judge disagreed with her because they said, that's right, these people have a right to, that's not what they do. They don't wax men. They have a right to say, even though you identify as a woman, this is a male part, and they don't have the specialty. They have a right to refuse that.
Absolutely.
I mean, go live your life, but you can't expect people to pretend your balls are not your balls, right? I don't know what they could do, but I always wondered, she took all this trouble to go to all these different salons. Did she ever get that wax?
That's a to be continued. We have to be on the path to find that. I mean, how would we know? If I ever bump into her, because she lives in our city of Vancouver, I'm going to say, hey, Jessica, did you get that wax?
That's right.
I'll ask her. I have no shame.
Yeah, you ready to go to the nude beach?
Well, she was open enough to file court appeals and talk about it, so I feel like it's not rude asking her.
Well, listen, I don't know too much about her, but I saw that she's a blonde, so maybe it could be a case of she wants the curtains to match the drapes, and maybe it's giving away too much.
And you also feel cleaner when there's no hair there. I don't know why. We just do.
It's a personal choice. I know some people love their body hair, and some people feel like, okay, I want to keep this much in this area. Some people like their armpit hair for whatever reason. I've seen a lot of legs lately.
I'm constantly removing hair from my body. I'm removing hair from my face. I'm removing hair from my arms. I nair my arms. I mean, anything I can do. And once I nair and everything, I put on my spray tan. You introduced me to Saint Tropez tan, which is amazing. There's nothing like being perfectly shaved and having a nice tan. Without the sun damage.
That's right. Without the cancer. That's what I say.
And
I think it's organic. I don't know.
Right. And getting onto that, I think it's time for a commercial break.
So who's our sponsor?
So today we have a sponsor, very special one. So this episode has been brought to you by any local waxing salon. Get ready for that post-pandemic first date with the perfect landing strip, just in time as they lift the travel ban.
Masks are not provided. By appointment only. Please shower before arrival. PPE will not be provided. Waxing can cause mild irritation, awkward positions, and is not guaranteed to get you laid. We're back.
And we are back. So now getting on to the topic of the amazing Naomi Campbell.
Wow. I mean, we all knew her as the big supermodel from the 90s, but then we didn't hear about her. It seemed like Heidi is the one we always hear about, Heidi Klum from sort of that era. I know that Cindy got married and all that, the Gerbers.
Who cares? Yeah. Right. I never found Cindy that gorgeous. But not like Naomi or Heidi.
No, but then there I am watching Making the Cut, the one on Amazon. And I was like, she's a revelation. I love Naomi.
I haven't seen the show, but I'm on Naomi's YouTube channel, which I think everyone should see. She is amazing. I saw one of her videos where she goes into Whole Foods, like the true diva she is. She's filming and a person says, excuse me, are you Naomi Campbell? And she goes, yes, I am, darling. Yes. And she said, no pictures now. And then she walks off.
That sounds like her. But you
amazing.
Know when you watch the show,
I want to be treated like that.
Oh, yeah.
If I ever bump into Naomi Campbell.
But Naomi doesn't stand for the bullshit. And when you watch the show, you start thinking to yourself, well, I wonder if that maid deserved
What
it.
Show is this again? Sorry.
Making the Cut.
Making the Cut.
I haven't
Amazon. Watched it.
You got to watch it. So
Amazon Prime.
They take these designers that are sort of well known already, have some established business, and to get them to the next level. So basically, she's one of the judges. And what's really funny is, you always saw Heidi in all these shows, but she kind of makes Heidi look really dumb. She really, And she comes out as the star because she's very real. She's warm, believe it or not. Right. Naomi's pushing you because she cares. And she's not going to suffer any kind of this fake bullshit.
Well, let's just cut the crap, too. The fact that Naomi Campbell made it in the 90s. I mean, Heidi Klum is tall, blonde, and svelte. It wasn't easy for her.
No, but
it was easy for her to get big. Where Naomi Campbell, what's so different about her is that she's, first of all, beautiful and dark-skinned black, which is beautiful.
My point is on the show, though, she's a revelation in terms of personality. It made me wonder, like, we've seen Heidi in all these shows. I would have much preferred Naomi. She's been so much fun. And it makes me think maybe that maid deserved it. If Naomi hit her in the head with a phone, I mean...
Who's May?
Her maid.
Oh, her maid.
That was the big scandal.
Oh, yeah.
She threw a phone.
I'm on Naomi's side.
But then I started looking it up. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's not the Naomi I've come to love from this one TV show who I barely know as in person or real life. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I look it up, and then she claimed the maid was stealing her jeans.
Well, why? But Naomi still didn't have to throw a phone at her. I mean, I'm still loving Naomi, but...
I feel like we don't know the whole story.
If I was the maid, I would also steal a pair of Naomi Campbell's jeans. I mean, the woman has great taste. I've just seen her YouTube video where she was showing all her Met Gala dresses. She is amazing. And I remember this YouTube video that she took not even before this whole virus, where she's showing us how she gets ready for on the plane. Oh. She cleans the plane seat that she's about to sit on. She then puts like a blanket over it. She puts her gloves. She is totally set.
She went in a hazmat suit, I think in January. She said, I had to go visit a friend. She's paying attention. She said, the fact is, for her job being a model, she always had to travel, and she knew you could get sick. So she always traveled like that. But now she took the extra precaution, and she's wearing, there she is in the airport. You can find these pictures. She's in a hazmat suit.
I think her having her own YouTube channel, it just brings up a whole new love affair for her, because she's showing all this new generation how it's done. That, we're seeing all these celebrities who are modeling and who are, they really shouldn't be modeling. Let's be honest. When Naomi takes a photograph, is in that photograph, it's legitimate.
But even forget her modeling. What I'm saying is, like, instead of having Heidi do America's Got Talent top model, you could have Naomi. She's like having a Simon Cowell plus a supermodel all rolled into one.
Well, speaking of that, Tyra Banks on America's Next Top Model, it's getting a lot of flack recently. I don't know if you heard. This is another scandal.
Smizing too hard? What?
Well, for telling models, and back day in the past, people are now looking at America's Next Top Model, and there was a contestant who had gap teeth, and she's saying, hey, you better close that or you're out of the show. She actually got white women to put on dark skin to look African. Yeah. And now even Jay Manuel on the show, who was that? Like,
I remember that
guy with the white hair?
I remember they were unfair, and they were very harsh to these women, saying you won't make it unless you're this exact way. And people loved the other people.
Janice Dickinson also publicly on the show would disagree with Tyra on a lot of things. And I don't know. I don't think she should be blamed, because that's the modeling world that she grew up in.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, we always heard throughout those times, and you saw Tyra and Heidi making it into acting or whatever, that Naomi's a diva and this and that. But it turns out, no, she's the realest of the bunch, and she's not putting up with crap. And she
has standards. You're allowed to have standards. Women are always called divas if they stand up for themselves.
Right.
Or, she's not going to be exploited all the time. She's allowed to say no.
She actually strikes me, again, don't know her, never met her, but just from watching this, you could clearly see this is a lady who's like, no, I'm not going to take your crap. I'm not going to pretend and dance in your fake Old Navy commercial and say how much fun I'm having. That's not what I'm doing, And I'm going to give it to you straight, because I give a shit.
It's true.
That's how I felt watching her. I just feel we need more Naomi. Mm-hmm. I'd like her on any reality show judging. I'd love to see her on a Housewives.
Oh, she'd be amazing. No, you know what? She needs her own reality show. We need to see what Naomi's doing. I want to see what she's eating. I want to see what she's watching. I want to see how she interacts with people. I feel like it'd be hilarious.
I do want to see that.
Especially the staff. Yeah. She probably has to be super nice on camera. And the minute camera turns off, it's like, honey,
Naomi dating, Naomi shopping. I want to see someone try to step to her in a Housewives.
I wish they would.
When they have to host these parties, like, I just decided to have friends over, and here's the butler, and here's and then it's always some drama. She'd be fantastic.
She'd be really good.
People would be crying, and it wouldn't be Naomi. I'll tell you that. She'd be great. But speaking of which, hopefully we get to see her a lot more. Maybe one day she can come on the show.
Oh, imagine we had Naomi. What questions I would ask her.
Well, I'll tell you this. Naomi is ride or die.
She is ride or die. Very loyal from what we can see. What makes you think that, though?
Well, you can tell. You can tell just watching her. And speaking of ride and die, nobody's more ride or die than our European husbands.
European/Israeli, kind of European flair.
They take it very seriously.
Almost too seriously. Like, I love to say I'm ride or die, but my husband and your husband,
oh no,
like, they will cut off contact in a heartbeat.
And the problem is, like, they're right. Like, we're so used to, you like have a misunderstanding, you talk to someone, you hash it out, you move on, but it's not really. The person can come back and you're like, well, this is a family member.
We got really lucky with our husbands because our husbands have our back, maybe to an extreme.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with family drama or anything. They're always going to side with us.
Always. But that's how it's supposed to be. We always forget that, you know? You say they're your best friends. Well, they are.
They just don't like to be disrespected or like us to be disrespected. The minute someone disrespects us, it's like done for them.
And the big thing is they do not forget. So, you know, we might move on and be like, oh, well, that was last year.
Absolutely.
She said she's sorry. It's all good. You know, she wants us over for brunch. They're like, remember what she did to you last year?
Absolutely.
How can you even think about talking to her? I'm like, well,
you know,
it's
my sisters. Right. Yeah. It's so true. And, you know, our husband, so your husband, Chaya's husband is from France, and my husband's from Israel. And they're like a big brother, little brother situation.
Oh,
they're so cute. They dress almost alike without knowing it.
Well, the first time they met, we were at our brother's wedding in Calgary. We had never met your husband, and we came out. They were both wearing the same color polo and jeans. We're like, what is going on? They're super cute.
And they got along so great, and their philosophies are almost exactly the same. I would say they're identical.
They really are. I mean, obviously mine is just a tiny bit older. And
well, you know, I'm just much younger than Chaya.
Let's calm down.
Well, I'm still in my 20s, and again, there's nothing wrong with aging.
And
everyone's going to do
40, it. And look at this. You should only hope that you're looking into the future that it's half as
Absolutely.
good.
Chaya looks amazing. The older you get, thank you. I mean, I've gained a little weight. I'm losing it. Do
you need more shaming episodes?
I'm going to need more shaming soon. I'm missing the abuse.
Well, my husband's not any helpful because he's like, you know, you shouldn't be shaming her. I'm like, she asked for it. But then he buys you all this chocolate. He knows you're coming over.
I love chocolate. I love turtle chocolates.
Turtles, Mars, and Smarties.
But you've been eating them too, girl.
I have been. But I haven't asked you to shame me. You asked for it.
It's true.
I
need it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start wrapping up. We've had a great time. But if you like what you hear, please don't forget to check us out weekly on your preferred platform. And don't forget, you can give us some feedback and give us a rating, and any ideas are welcome. You can also go to our website at allkindspodcast.com.
And you can also hit us up on Twitter at allkindsweekly or on Instagram at allkindspodcast. Once again, we look forward to hearing from you, and maybe we can discuss any topic that you would like to hear on the next show.
Thanks for listening.
Oops, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.